Hi guys!
Just wanting to wish Nick and Lauren a very happy 1-year anniversary.
Hey Nick and Lauren! As the best man that I am, I created this little video to commemorate your first year anniversary. I gathered some really special people and we worked really hard on it, putting it together, so I hope you like it.
Okay, so when did I meet you two?
So how did I meet Nick and Lauren?
How did I meet Lauren?
I met Lauren when I gave birth to her on September 17th, 1985.
So I was probably I think I was probably a couple minutes old when I met Lauren because she's my sister and I have known her my whole life.
So the first time I met Lauren was actually at San Diego State. We were roommates and we had a lot of fun together. We have different stories about how we actually met and which class it actually was, but that's another story.
I met Lauren in Ventura. We went out to lunch for Kev's birthday and we had a great time. We went to a car show, had fish and chips. I think she thought we were all crazy. We ended up taking a bunch of selfies and feeding these seagulls. I met Lauren towards the end of elementary school, early middle school. It might be terrible that I don't know that. But we met playing soccer, and after many years of friendship and many boy relationships later, Lauren met Nick, and I met Nick as a result of that.
So the first memory I have of meeting Lauren was in Ventura. We had gone to get fish and chips in the Channel Islands harbor with my parents for my dad's birthday. I was a senior in college and I was kind of stressed out at the time and I was studying for a lot of exams and stuff, so I don't really remember engaging and getting to know her really well. So actually the first time I really bonded with Lauren, I think, was at their joint birthday party that year. Or later the next year it might have been. I'm forgetting. But I do remember sitting on the couch and drinking wine with Lauren and just having a lot of fun and catching up and getting to know her a little bit more. And as soon as I did, I realized that this was the girl for my brother.
I met Lauren when I came down to visit Nick one time, and I could tell he was serious about her, so I remembered her name.
I met Lauren in Ventura. We went out to Ventura for my birthday, and we walked around on the boardwalk near the pier, and we had some lunch out there and had a great time.
Okay, so I met Nick and Lauren on Labor Day this year, Labor Day weekend. Connor and I drove down and went to a Dodgers game, which was really fun. They were the first people of Connor's family that I met, but I actually wasn't that nervous because I only heard good things from Connor.
How did I meet Nick?
I met Nick in 1986, September 17th, when the doctor handed him to me to cut the umbilical cord, and it was love at first sight.
Way back in the 80s, a doctor handed him to me, and I never realized how much I could love someone.
So the first memory I actually have of Nick, of meeting Nick, and it might be a little blurry, but it's his big butt falling down on me, his big 5-year-old butt falling down on me when I was laying on the couch. Apparently my parents had just brought me home from the hospital. My brother was so excited, he was dancing around their house, and he came over and just sat on me. And I'm not sure why, and I'm not sure how it happened, but it did, and my parents had to rush me to the hospital on the couch cushion, so that was fun.
Nick, I met him probably after a couple of dates after he and Lauren started dating, and I met him outside of her apartment, and he was super nervous to meet me, and it was really cute, but nothing to be nervous about. I loved him from the very beginning.
Just kidding. I don't actually remember that story, but it did happen. So maybe I should use that for the embarrassing story. But I guess the first memories I have of meeting Nick are just growing up with him and rollerblading outside and playing basketball. with our boombox outside and listening to jock jams.
First time I met Nick was actually, I think, at Chevy's restaurant in Huntington Beach. I had just had my cochlear implant surgery, so I couldn't hear a word he was saying because he was on this side. So sorry, Nick, I didn't hear anything he said, but you hit it off with my boyfriend, Eric, and you guys became best buds.
I don't remember when I met Nick, but I know that when Lauren had brought him over to the house, I was very pleased. Very, very pleased. I guess that's a good word. So excited to have him over. Such a great, great guy.
Well, I met you, Nick, through Lauren, of course, on you guys' second date in Carlsbad. And it was awesome. I knew right then and there you were that man.
I met Nick in high school physics, where I helped to explain to him the mystery of potential energy. Or maybe I met him in English, where he was known as John Muir.
One word to describe Nick.
One word to describe Nick.
So, a word that I would use to describe Nick would be genuine.
Photogenic.
Is loyal.
Strong.
Hilarious.
Very sincere and caring.
You're fun.
So one word to describe Nick would be loving, because it's really obvious how much he loves his wife and his dogs and his family.
Nick is like a gentle giant. He is one of the strongest people I know, and whether I like to admit it or not, he's stronger than me. And he doesn't show it a lot, but if you make him angry or if you hurt someone that he loves, he'll show you how strong he is.
He has the biggest heart of gold. He's an amazing kid. Once he's a friend with somebody, he's a friend for life. That's just how Nick is.
Nick, I just think you're adorable. You two have a huge heart. I think that's probably why you two get along so well.
Would be loyal. Nick's about the most loyal person I know, and very true friend.
I don't think I've ever seen a bad photo of Nick, and that talks a lot about him on the outside, but I know that he also is just such a great person on the inside.
It's because he makes jokes all the time, and he's never dull to be around, and he always wants to do something fun and exciting, which is good.
Name one word to describe Lauren.
In one word to describe Lauren.
Would be loving.
She's always happy.
Lauren is compassionate. Lauren is one of the most empathetic people I've ever met in my entire life. As soon as you talk to her, you realize that she is stepping into your shoes, taking on exactly what you're feeling and exactly what you're going through. She's really listening, and she tries her best to understand everyone.
Genuine, because it's obvious that she genuinely cares and genuinely loves Nick and her family.
One word to describe Lauren would be beautiful, because not only is she gorgeous on the outside, but she has one of the most kind and true and beautiful hearts on the inside as well.
Lauren is amazing. Everything she puts her mind to, she can do. She's got a heart of gold. She's so big, so big.
One word to describe Lauren, I would say loving, kind, generous. There's a bunch of words to describe Lauren.
She's super sweet, caring, loving, just a really sweet sweetie.
And Lauren, I think of her as just a sweetheart.
She is beautiful, but she's also like very strong and kind, and I love you.
Lauren, there's not enough words for you, girl. Everything you've done has been just rock star to me.
One word that would describe Nick and Lauren together.
One word to describe you two together.
And a word I would use to describe both of them would be selfies.
Just committed.
Loving. Totally in love.
Just kidding. Selfless.
would be crazy.
Compatible, 2 peas in a pod.
Absolutely lovable. Lovable. Amazingly lovable.
Nuts. They're always busy, they're always excited about something new, whether they're going camping, whether they're watching Chiefs games, Lakers games, what have you. They're always amped up, excited for something.
It would be the word kismet because it means fate or that they're destined to be together, which I absolutely believe.
Because you guys act like you're really young together, and that's really fun. And like you guys don't care what people think, and I think that's a really good quality to have in your spouse.
Something that I absolutely love about Nick and Lauren.
I love Nick and Lauren because they both wear their heart on their sleeves.
I love Nick and Lauren because every time I see them, I feel super welcomed, and I always have a ton of fun with them, and I can't wait to see them soon.
Why do you love Nick and Lauren? Well, Lauren, I've always loved you, and I'm so happy you're happy now and in love with Nick. And he was lovable right from the very first time I met him. I knew he would be that guy, honestly. I love him. Love you both.
Is that Lauren has always been somebody who is very selfless, whether it's with her friends, her family, her career. She always puts other people first.
They are very what you see is what you get people. They're not putting on a front for anyone. They're not trying to impress anyone. What they have is real, and they don't care who knows it. They're true friends, and I know that they'll always have my back.
I love that they are so fun to be around, and they love to camp and being athletic, and so we can all be crazy together, and they're just so fun. I love them so much.
And what I love about Nick is that he's come alongside her and he's put her first, and in that way is just as selfless as she is.
Lauren, you fit Nick so perfectly and vice versa. I am so happy you guys found each other.
I love Nick and Lauren because they both have the warmest hearts ever, and they're just so genuine and loving and welcoming to anyone they know.
My favorite memory from the wedding.
One of my favorite memories from Nick and Lauren's wedding was...
My favorite memory from the wedding, there's a bunch. I loved their vows, how they wrote them, and how it was just silence, and then they were doing their vows. It was pretty awesome, just very meaningful.
So my favorite memory from Nick and Lauren's wedding was the Taco Man. He made baller food, and I loved it.
When all of us girls were in the limo and we were all trying so desperately to sneak a peek at Nick and Lauren's first look.
First look, when we were all in the limo and we watched Lauren go out and meet Nick and see him for the first time, and just watching him see her and just seeing their love for each other was really sweet. We were all crying, sobbing in the limo, so.
Just kidding. I mean, the Taco Man was my favorite part of their wedding because he made awesome food, but I also really loved dancing with my brother and Lauren and all of our childhood friends. Seeing that come to life was awesome. It was something that I didn't realize that I had been dreaming about all of these years.
My favorite memory from Nick and Lauren's wedding is seeing Kevin crying while he's talking about Nick and reflecting back on their lives together.
I also loved Kevin's speech. He had me bawling my makeup off.
My favorite memory of the wedding, it would have to be the vows that Nick and Lauren put together and put them in their own words. They were very touching and very heartfelt, and I loved it. I also loved Susan's phone going off while the vows were going on, so that was fun too.
I apologize for my phone going off from the front row.
I also really liked when my mom's phone went off during the ceremony, and lo and behold, Kelly Hansen made it to the ceremony. She just can't live without Lauren.
Was probably the dancing part. because, or the getting ready part, but like since I couldn't party, I had to like do the PG stuff. So, I mean, it was still a lot of fun, but probably the dancing, that was a lot of fun.
I wanted to say when the dog was there.
Lauren, I think it was me walking around, meeting and greeting. I really enjoyed meeting all Nick's family. It was nice to see everybody.
And then I actually have a second favorite moment from their wedding, which was out on the dance floor when we were trying to explain to Kara who Notorious B.I.G. was.
And I really liked dancing with all you guys at the reception. That was lots of fun.
Favorite memory from the bachelor party.
My favorite memory of the Bachelorette camping trip.
I feel like it was just yesterday that we were in the rain camping. Cannot believe it's been a year.
There were a lot of good memories, but the one that stuck out the most to me was the marshmallows. And everybody was fighting and throwing the marshmallows at each other, and I just remember Lauren getting really annoyed seeing marshmallows everywhere and worrying that Daisy was eating them all, which she probably was.
So I'm too young to go, so I didn't go, but I heard it was a lot of fun.
Just getting to see all the groups of friends together that I didn't know all of Nick's groups of friends. So it was great, just getting to meet everybody. I'd say that's just my favorite memory.
I wasn't invited. Thanks a lot.
And then another memory was the light up frisbees. That was fun.
While the Bachelorette party is a very fuzzy memory for me, I'd have to say, in a similar vein to the wedding memories, my favorite part about it was the food. Lauren brought these awesome stick things where you wrap Pillsbury Crescent dough around it and then you stick it over the fire, and it makes these awesome little pie things. And we filled them with jam and put whipped cream on them. They were so good and so messy, and everyone was drunk and throwing them at people and eating them, and they were everywhere, but it was awesome. The food was the best part. Also, my brother dancing with a blow-up doll. Sorry, Nick.
An embarrassing story.
There's so many embarrassing stories about Nick.
An embarrassing story about Nick. Not a lot of people know this about Nick, but he was a lightweight when he started drinking. So if he had one or two light beers, he would really get drunk. And he would subsequently get really fired up.
When he was 9 or 10 years old, we had a lot of kids come over for Halloween, and everybody dressed up, and we always had great costumes. And this one year, Nick dressed up as Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and he had it down to a T. He would have the walk, he would have the talk, and he'd start every conversation off with "Holy Testicle Tuesday," and he'd even go as far as to turn around and bend over and pull his cheeks apart and start talking to you with his butt cheeks.
Then he would go around picking up couches or picking up people and telling them how much he cared about them, or just yelling out that he felt really great. So it was pretty ridiculous.
So Nick's nickname from me is really funny. It's kind of embarrassing, but I started calling him Nicky Foof, and I don't really know how it started, but I knew he'd always fart, and so Foof, Nicky Foof. I don't know. It's just funny, and I still call him that to this day.
Probably more embarrassing for me than for him.
Oh, when he used to run down the hall stark naked.
Nick and I both had jury duty together on the same trial, and Nick was so embarrassed because the judge thought we were married. Everybody there, everybody was, I don't know, everybody thinks we look alike, but everybody thought we were married, and so he was mortified.
I mean, his little butt was hanging out there, and he didn't care who saw him.
The most embarrassing moment about Lauren,
The only thing I could think of, Lauren, was at your wedding. Wasn't too embarrassing, but I saw it on your face when you walked out of, I was walking you down and you forgot your flowers. you were a bit embarrassed, and that's all I can remember. Other than that, I don't know anything else that would have been for the both of you.
We were trying to figure that out. We haven't got one yet, and we're still looking for one.
Actually, I don't know any embarrassing stories about Lauren yet. I'm sure there's going to be some coming up. I'm looking forward to some embarrassing stories with Lauren.
So when we find one, we'll document it. But we haven't got one yet.
And yeah, that's it.
Happy anniversary. Cannot believe it's been a year. Love you guys.
Happy anniversary, Nick and Lauren.
I think that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful anniversary. I know it was hard to get to your destination, but I hope you're having a wonderful time and have a really blessed weekend and life together. Happy anniversary, Nick and Lauren.
Nick and Lauren, I love you so much, and I hope that you have the most fabulous one-year anniversary. Happy anniversary, lovebirds.
I love you guys, and happy anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Camp.
I love you both. I hope you have a wonderful anniversary. It's hard to believe it's already been a year, but I love you, and you guys enjoy watching all this.
Happy anniversary, Nick and Lauren! Woo!
Happy anniversary, Lauren and Nick. I love you guys. You're the best.
Happy anniversary to my two favorite people. I love you, Lauren and Nick.
Happy anniversary, Nick and Lauren. I love you guys.
This is to wish you a happy anniversary, and we hope you're having a wonderful time up in Tahoe, and we love you both very, very much. All right, bye guys.
Okay, so I left one kind of funny, embarrassing thing out for Nick. When he was young, he used to love the New Kids on the Block. And he had all the figures, all the action figures, and he collected them, and he's going to kill me. Anyway, if you don't remember the song, here's the song. That was Nick. He was in All Boys Hip Hop with Connor. Okay.